Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the stock show coming at you on Sunday, here in Sunday, in the great state of Florida. One hell of a drug. And I want to welcome you to the show wherever you are tuning in from around the world. Thanks for watching. Today, we're going to have a quick look at an indicator that could derail and could cause a pullback in the market. We're going to have a look at that historical data. We're going to look at the charts. We're going to look at how our stock's performing on the cheat sheet and where we have some entries and some take profits. And we might even look at some swing trades that some of you have been asking. But before we jump into that, you know what I'm going to say, if you're a regular watcher, smash that like button. That helps get the content out to more people and does help support the channel. Do appreciate all the kind words of encouragement that people do leave in the comments. I do read and respond to all of those, and all the questions that get asked, I do get back to those as soon as possible. And don't forget, we are going to be looking at the cheat sheet and the stocks section on the cheat sheet. There's also crypto there and a bunch of other things. And that is linked in the description. It's right at the top of the description of this video and every video that I do for your convenience there. And of course, the Stocks with Josh Discord link is also there. The most incredible community, honestly, the most incredible Discord on the planet. So just great to be part of that community. Amazing people. I appreciate each and every single one of you, giving you a big shout out today, just there. So if you're not part of that and would love to join us there, the link below is also in the description. Okay, so we're going to jump into a little bit of stock news. But first of all, we have, look at this. Unrealized losses by US banks are 7x higher than the 2008 financial crisis. Is something due to break? Is something, look over here. Is something due to break here? Certainly keeping an eye on that. And we're going to cover in a little bit the indicator also that I'm looking at that could lead to a bit of a pullback in the stock market. Although one stock that has not been pulling back in the stock market, a trade that I gave, and we're going to look at that in the cheat sheet, has absolutely been crushing it, has been the MicroStrategy trade. MicroStrategy beat every single company in the S&P index using the Bitcoin strategy. And we did talk about that in the last show last Sunday. So I won't go into that in detail again today, but absolutely has been a stock on the move. Okay. We're going to look at some possible swing trades and where our next profit place is for our HODL bags there. And then before we get into the charts, this is it. This is what I'm looking for. The stock market hits extreme greed, the highest level of greed since March. So certainly there, but if we look at some historical data here, the CNN Fear and Greed Index, we do see that when we've gone into some extreme greed here, certainly there has been some pullbacks, but certainly there's been times where the market has kind of had a small pullback and then continued to rally. And we can see here the blue line is the CNN Fear Greed Index and the S&P 500 here. And so you can actually see here where we reached and we did see a little bit of a pullback there. And then obviously as we've gone up, there was a pullback, but it was a small pullback. And then here we had a pullback, but this was our little black swan event. So we can certainly see we're getting up there now. Certainly levels here, as you can see, that we got the last time we got up around these levels, we did see a little bit of a small pullback there. And so certainly, as you can see, there has been the stock market has generally looked to follow the fear and greed index. But as you can see here, it did reach there, and you wouldn't want to have sold here because certainly this was down here at 42, and then it went all the way up to around 45, almost 46 before we saw actually a pullback to 41. And then again here, we saw a peak up here and at the end of last year. And certainly at that point, we were at 47. But then it continued. There was a bit of divergence there because the fear and greed index came down, but the price continued to move upwards for many months there. For many months, actually for 3 months solid, we saw a movement in price before we saw a bit of a decline there in price. And it wasn't much of a decline really there, from 52 down to 5. And so as you can see there, this here, so it's definitely a index that should be watched. And so we are going to jump into the charts, and we're going to look at the SPY to begin with, the ETF there, the spider. And we're going to look at obviously the cheat sheet that we have here. And we did get that entry there at 538. Oh, yeah, 538. And so we had our first take profit at 560. So there's not much there there would be a re-entry at 560, which is down around here. But certainly we have the 50-day moving average now just a little bit above. So there could be an entry there still at around that 560 level, 562. So that would still be the entry there for the SPY. Now for Apple, we have a 235. And remember, this was one that re-entered one of our buy zones. If we look at Apple here, and we got our buy zones there, 195, 210, 220, and our first take profit is going to be up at 265. A little bit of a slow mover, but we certainly did get our buy zones in here, and now we are working our way up. And again, I just follow a very simple strategy here, and as you can see, it's been very successful. We've had a lot of starting to fill in a lot of this green. A lot of our buys got hit. The orange is we got a first buy. A yellow is we got a second buy in these areas. So you can see how we've been able to do that. So we're just being patient with the Apple trade. We'll just keep accumulating in these areas, and then obviously our take profits to the upside. Amazon was one that we managed to get a second buy in here. And as you can see, this turned out to be a great little area down in here to collect some Amazon, okay, around this area. And we're sitting currently at about 188 for Amazon. So certainly now we're starting to head up to our first take profit zone around 200. So I'm expecting to see some green in there. Obviously, if we come back and we did re-hit this area and got this again, and so we got 155, we got 174, we got 180. So therefore, we've got our first take profit at 200 that is coming up on the horizon. We're about $12 away from that. So just being patient there with the Amazon trade. The ASTS trade has been great. We already got our buys in, and then we got our first take profit, and now we've come back for second buys back here. Obviously, these levels all got hit a second time. And so let's have a look at ASTS and see where we are on that chart. And again, if you follow this trade, it's just simple. This is how you make money. We bought in here the first time, we sold at 40, and then we got back in again here down at this level here. And so you can see we got right back down to over here. So we got in over here, we rode this play all the way up to this $40 level, and then we've been able to get back in the trade here. We got a nice little beautiful retest here going on of the 50-day moving average. And again, we can look to be taking profit back up at that 40 level, or if we come down, we can continue to accumulate ASTS. Again, another home run win for the tribal trades community here. Coinbase has absolutely smashed it. I've said so many times this was so undervalued, being under the 200 EMA, the 50-day moving average. It's just smeared through both of those and the 200 simple moving average there. And so let's have a look. We're currently sitting at 220 for Coinbase. And so we have hit our TP there. And it's just, look at this. I gave you the trades. In fact, I didn't just give them to you once. You got them twice. You had 2 times at least to get these wonderful entries that I gave. Even last Sunday, I believe it was still an entry here. Yeah, it was still an entry last Sunday. And if you got in that trade, you actually printed money. I know some of you followed the trade and did these con owl, the coin long there, and made additional extra money. And so where would we be looking to get back in this trade? Well, here at around $200, or if we come back to 188 and down 180, $180 to $200 there would be the value zone where I would look at re-adding back into Coinbase. But certainly we are coming up to some resistance here. We did break down from this level here at around 230, around this level right here. And so certainly there is a little bit of resistance here. You can see the volume that we're coming in here on this volume profile on the side here. And so certainly this is why I identified this as an area to take some profits off the table on the Coinbase trade. Certainly I am thinking this will get to our upward targets of 275 and 370. So I did not get out of the trade. These are not trades that I'm getting out of. These are trades that I'm staying in. I'm taking profits here and then here and then here. And if we do happen to come back here, I'll reload at the lower level, okay? That's how we are playing this trade. Google now might be the only one. I don't know if we have any in the buy zones. Only ASTS right now is in the buy zone right now at $28. Certainly Google is the next cab off the rank here, and it is in the buy zone right now. So I did buy some more Google, and this is powerful here when you get these three moving averages all converging together. We've got a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders pattern here. So I do feel that I do want to see this 50-day move away from the 200. We want to see the 50 stay above the 200 here. If they were to cross, certainly that can be a bit of a lagging indicator that would just really come after this big move that we've had to the downside all the way up from $190. And so I wouldn't necessarily see that as negative. We might just see a small cross and then back up to the upside and then have a bullish cross. But certainly there is a lot of support here. I do see this as a good buying zone here for Google. And if we do look for Google, we haven't, 190 is our take profit to get up there. And so we are currently in the buy zone for Google right now. We did hit 150. I got some at 150, got some more at 165, came back to 165 and got some more there at that 165 level there. Meta, we managed to get in at 435 and 460. We hit that $5.40 level. So let's have a quick look and see where we are with Meta. And certainly there's not much more there with Meta. Now, if you did want to do a little bit of a swing trade, so I am going to give you a little bit of a swing trade opportunity here. The swing trade opportunity there is going to be at 545. 545 for Meta. Let's have a look in here. And we may add a little bit of and this is separate, so you would not trade this with this. This would have to be now a separate brokerage account that you would open to swing trade Meta at 545. This would not be part of this hodl, but certainly if you wanted to swing trade or if you missed out on this area here and wanted to get in on Meta, that would be the entry, but certainly a stop loss required there for this one to stop out of the trade if it goes against you, because there is a long way down to these next levels of support. These major moving averages, the 200 simple and the 200 EMA, sitting at around 490 and 480, and that's where we could come down. We saw that extreme greed reading, so certainly just to be very careful there with the Meta trade, but certainly the 545 would be an area there for a swing trade there for you on that one there. And then we're going to look at our Microsoft trade, which was an entry last week and certainly still looks to be an entry now here. These lines are converging, and we do want to see these separate from each other here. And it is a lagging indicator. So obviously here was the trade that I gave down at 409, which was the entry. So if we look at the cheat sheet there for Microsoft, sorry, we skipped that. We did get down to that 400 level and got that additional buy in there. But our first take profit is not to 470. So we still are in the buy zone for Microsoft at 418. Certainly this a break here above, and we should really start to move back up there. And we are seeing some nice, we see a low, there's a higher low, another higher low, another higher low. And while that continues, I still remain quite bullish there to Microsoft to accumulate at these levels here. For that, I at the 420 level, $400 level there. Microsoft is looking pretty good. MicroStrategy we've absolutely smashed this trade. This is another great home run for the tribal trades community here for MicroStrategy. We got this trade all the way back at $120, and we have almost made 100% on this trade. This is absolutely smashed it. There's so many good things going on about here. And certainly, I did say that if you wanted to take some profit here at the 1272, depending on the size of your trade, that this would be where to take profit, and then you could get back in at 200. And that's exactly what happened, exactly as I called it. Take some profit here if you wanted to. You don't have to. You can wait to 265, and you can add some more to the trade here at the 200 level. But this was the level that we're looking for here. But for now, what we're looking at is up to here to take around the next profit about 260. But just remember this area here and this area here, 227, 241. Depending on your position size and the amount you're in profit, you may want to just scale back, de-risk a little bit on the way up. I definitely wouldn't be getting completely out of the trade here because we've still got the 1618 that I do expect that we will get up to and dollars. So this trade, we could just keep riding. Now, if you wanted to swing trade this, certainly the entry that I gave you was here at 200. And if there is another retest of 200, this could be a place to enter the swing trade. So that would be a place that you could get in with a tight stop loss there. That's swing trade. That's not part of our HODL portfolio that we are slowly taking profits on the way up there for MicroStrategy. Okay, and then we look at Nvidia. So the Nvidia trade is just really trucking along here. We did get the profit at 135, 140. We got these low numbers in here. Now we're moving towards 180 there. We've had a little bit of a stall because CEO was selling a fair bit, and we're a little bit stuck there. And so we are, we could possibly get a pullback to these levels of 115, 105. Let's look at where we are right there with that to come back right around this level here. Even 120 would be okay. And then to 115. 115 to 120 would be the ideal re-entry. And certainly, though, the value zone is 115 to 120. You can see that the 200 EMA on the 4-hour and the 50-day moving average are both around there. So that's where I'm buying more Nvidia for HODL. So our Palantir trade absolutely smashed it up to $45. So we're able to take profit on that one there. Certainly the entries there that we gave at 28 to 30. And this is why we had the aggressive entry. It didn't come back. Okay, and this is why this was a just-in-case bag buy. And if you don't know what a just-in-case buy is, it's just, you don't go heavy in there. You do a just-in-case buy. That's why it's called the aggressive entry, just in case the price does not come back, like we've seen with the S&P 500. Then at least you have an entry. And then if you do buy there, if it does pull back, then you're not going to be overexposed with the Palantir trade. So that's certainly been very, very good. Our Soundhound trade, certainly we're just still being patient and waiting for that. We have that. We've got the take profit. Our next take profit at $7.70. If we come back, those are the entry levels there for our Soundhound trade. And then just finishing off with Tesla. And certainly this has been the gift that keeps giving. We were able to take profit up there. There was a bit of a buy the rumor, sell the news event, and we've come all the way back here down to 220. And so certainly with Tesla, if we look at the Tesla trade, we're getting back in the trade again. This is the gift that keeps giving here. We've hit it 3 times, and 3 times we've been able to get back in the trade there. So that is a current yes trade right there. And really, it's just, this is really providing just this amazing opportunity here at the 200 EMA on the daily. And if we were to come down to the 200 simple moving average at 200, that would certainly be another area to make a buy there. But certainly buying back here at 220, looking to ride this back up, getting back up to this $260 level there. Well, I hope you enjoyed the show today. And until the next episode, which is tomorrow morning, the 2 shows, I have my daily crypto show. That goes live at about 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then the altcoin show, 6 days a week, both these shows 6 days a week at around 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We push that video out to everybody there. So until then, enjoy the rest of your weekend and happy trading.